President Vladimir Putin has had some chilling words for Poland. He says that Moscow will treat any aggression against Belarus with all means at its disposal. Now, this comes after reports suggesting Poland had deployed troops to its border with Belarus. On Thursday, mercenaries from Russia's Wagner Group began training Belarusian soldiers near the Polish border. You'll recall that Wagner forces relocated to Belarus after last month's short-lived mutiny against Russia's military leadership. During his televised address, President Putin also had this message for the Polish government.
Thanks to Soviet Union, to Stalin, Poland got significant amount of lands in the West, lands that used to belong to Germany. It is so. Western territories of Poland are the present given by Stalin to Poles. Our friends in Warsaw had forgotten about it. We will remind them.
South Korea's defense ministry responded to North Korea's warning of nuclear retaliation with a warning of its own on Friday. The ministry said that just as South Korea and the U.S. made it clear during the NCG meeting, North Korea will face an immediate, overwhelming, and decisive response in the event of any North Korean nuclear attack against the alliance that will result in the end of the North Korean regime. North Korea has heavily criticized the docking of the USS Kentucky, a nuclear-capable strategic submarine in South Korea, and the launch of the South Korea-US Nuclear Consultative Group as a blatant and direct nuclear threat.
Already a wanted man in the West, now detained in his homeland. Igor Girkin, who also goes by the name Stelkov, is a former Russian spy and battlefield commander facing potentially years in prison. The prominent pro-war blogger is accused of going too far in his criticism of the Kremlin and Vladimir Putin via his Telegram channel, arrested at his Moscow home and charged with inciting extremism. As he fronted court, a group of supporters rallied outside. Some of them arrested as they spoke to media. Girkin's also one of 3 men convicted of murder by a Dutch court last year over the shooting down of Malaysian Airlines flight MH17. The 2014 incident killed 298 people, including 38 Australians. He was handed a life sentence in absentia, but has been untouchable living in Russia.
Turning now to the conflict in Sudan, there are reports that airstrikes have killed at least 7 civilians in the capital, Khartoum. There are also suggestions that the aid group, Doctors Without Borders, could pull out of the country after one of its aid convoys was attacked.
Well, because of the lack of a ceasefire agreed upon by both sides, the paramilitary rapid support forces and the Sudanese army, fighting very much continues here in the capital, Khartoum. Now, the resistance committees of the southern belt, the southern part of the capital, reported that several civilians were killed as a result of airstrikes launched by the Sudanese army against positions of the paramilitary rapid support forces in the southern part of the capital.